Hello, dear students. I hope you're all well. Welcome to our first online lesson for English for your HAVO. I sent you an email, as you know. I'm at home awaiting the results of my test. I think I'll be fine. I'm not feeling ill, so I hope to see you tomorrow or Wednesday. Depends on which day we have our next class. However, I do not like to waste time. So for today, I recorded this video to make sure that we spend our time useful and we spend our time learning and improving. So yeah, that's it. What I'd like to do today is a small recap of last lesson. Then we're going to talk about the goals of today's lesson, the words of today 1A. We're going to see if you still remember them. Then we'll do a listening exercise as it matches the first test we're going to have in test week 1. And lastly, I'll give you guys some homework so the rest of the time you can spend on that homework. So I hope you will remember from last lesson that we did the first words of the day. Purpose of doing that is to expand your vocabulary, to create an extensive vocabulary with which you can understand all texts, all audio, the words you can use to write a letter, which is also in our program this year, and to have a conversation with somebody without looking for words, and maybe using different words than you are used to. Okay. And last lesson we also talked about why English is a subject at the school and why we have certain goals to achieve this year. We talked about your personal goals because, as you remember, you will get some time each week to try and achieve your personal goals. So not just the ones we tell you to achieve. You're wise enough, you're smart enough to think about what you need and what you need to improve. So we discussed your personal goals and we had our first English conversation of the year about those goals and about your holiday. We also spoke about all the goals that the school and the government want you to achieve, right? Wat de school en wat de overheid wil dat je in ieder geval doet dit jaar. And as you can see, our first test is listening. So that's why we're going to start with a listening exercise today. And then we're going to move on to writing, presenting, literature, and reading. But as I told you last time, we will be using all those skills in our lessons. So we won't just focus on listening the whole first 7 weeks. We also use reading and writing and to keep things interesting. And reading is also not something you can learn or improve within 7 weeks. So we'll need a little bit more time for that. So that's why we mix it up. I hope all the end products are clear, that you don't have any questions about them. However, if you do, you can let me know through lessonup. I sent you the link of the lessonup in the email. And if you want, you can just type your answer here and I'll check it after today, before the next lesson. So let me know if you have any trouble understanding or grasping the idea of the end products. Now, before we move on to the words of the day, a small question. Please answer it in the lesson up as well. Denk je dat je de words of the day 1a nog weet? Die 10 woordjes van de vorige keer. Ja, nee of een B? Nou, laat het me weten en dan weet ik hoe je met je huiswerk aan de slag bent. Of niet met je huiswerk, maar met de onderdelen aan de slag bent gegaan. Of je het nog weet, of je leerwoordjes snel leert, is belangrijk voor mij. Well, the question is, do you remember these words? These were the words of today. 1A, to achieve, achievement, advantage, to appeal, the appeal, to approve, charity, to develop, effective, to encourage, unfortunately. And as you may have noticed, these are all positive words. So they're part of the words of the day. One, which are all positive expressions, words, idioms. So we focus on the positive first. Okay, through this small question, you can, well, try and drag this to the correct answer. So, for example, achieve, if you know what the meaning is of achieve, you can drag it to the correct answer and show me that you remember the words. Okay, then just the answer so you can check yourself. And it's important that you practice these words and try to improve your vocabulary by really spending some time on it. Otherwise, you'll have difficulty doing all the skills because, as I told you, it's not about studying this year, it's about using words and using English to achieve your goals, to speak about something that you think is interesting, to write a letter to somebody about something that you've gone through, to listen to the news and are able to understand it. So we're going to really use English instead of study it. However, these words you can study. They're not in the test, but it's very important that you know them. So now I would like to show you a small video about listening because that is our first skill, right? Listening. And the question that is answered in this video is, how can I practice my listening skill? Because some of you might think that listening is difficult. Some of you might enjoy it because you are already good at it. However, for each of you, there is a way to improve your listening, and I'm going to show you in this small video how that is possible.